Yo, what's up? Welcome to KKP, King Kong Palms.
King Kong Palms.
Wow, this has been a crazy time we live in.
Yeah, crazy.
Perfect time to know Kung Fu. Combat Kung Fu.
Especially that.
You guys have been writing in, asking questions. Someone asked a question, is King Kong Palm a style? And I go, no. These are methods.
It's a brand. We're going to have our own style clothes. No, we don't.
Silk King Kong Palms.
Yes. If you go into any kind of competitive fighting and you come in with a silk clothing, you should get beaten. So
Right. We're still looking for masters to come on the show.
Yes.
We've
We've gotten a bunch now, but so now we're getting. We hope to get more.
Yeah, it's been really good for us so far. So now I feel comfortable, and maybe even soon have a KKP workshop.
Yeah.
So, and remember, the workshop is not about you guys getting away from your style. This is about methods that can enhance your style.
We're going to have much more KKP this year.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So
this time,
we're going to talk about
everybody shuffling.
Shuffling.
Exactly.
Okay, so shuffling is actually a very interesting subject because one of the things about shuffling is understanding how to get there quicker. So the concept is, what happens if I'm outmatched? My opponent's bigger, faster, stronger. One of the things about shuffling or sliding your feet, hovering it right above the ground, is the fact that you can actually use quickness instead of speed, especially when the person is faster than you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Because once you lift that foot up, you have a very tendency of, if you don't kick, you can get, you have 1 foot left, so your balance is off.
Right.
So.
Because what was the old saying? I step, I get hit. So shuffling.
With a lot of arts.
Can we call it something else besides shuffling?
But everybody's shuffling.
Okay, everybody's shuffling.
Okay. There's a lot of arts that has a lot of stepping and stuff like bagua and all of the arts. But when you notice that they're starting to do their textbook applications from the old world, you notice they don't really step. We shuffle or slide. Okay, slide.
Like the electric slide.
Electric
slide. I know. Okay, focus.
Focus. ADD.
I know it's bad. We both are ADD.
And we just had caffeine. So you're first, brother.
Okay, so just a very simple concept. S.O.V, let me borrow you for a second. So one of the things I like, I'm just going to step. So in our system, we call half horse an andoma. Some of you guys will call this a gongbu. And so when we're moving, what most people do is if he throws a punch, they raise their foot up and here. The problem with that is not this hand, the hand I don't see coming till it's too late. So if he throws right and left, boom, now I have a hard time because I raised my foot. But if I get in, now I'm there before he even get a chance to launch the punch. And I'm just sliding my foot across, shuffling my foot across. And what I do is I transition from one stance to another. So if I go here, right, and let's say if I go to a Suping Ma, once again for us, for Southern, and a Mabu for you guys who speak Mandarin, I can slide my foot in. Slide my foot in. So the other thing is, let's use one with a reverse cross stance, okay? So if he throws me a left and I slide my foot, see how my foot comes around? I don't take a step and then put it down. What I do is I gather, I go here. Of course, if I am on the 45-degree angle, combat, then I can still remain in close quarters for contact. So it's important that you understand that. The other thing is, if I'm utilizing a straight line or an angled line, and then when my force can meet the point here, right? I'll give you an example. So he throws, and I drop my weight right over my left foot. If he throws that same punch and I raise my foot, now I gotta muscle him, but I'm not stronger than him.
Right.
Remember, my opponent is bigger, stronger, faster. So these are methods in which you can add to your style that will allow you to get a step ahead. You know, sometimes we've trained, I've had some females of 120 pounds, right? And I'm over 200 pounds. Let's just say over 200 pounds. Let's say over 200 pounds. I'm over 200 pounds, so when I throw a punch and I put my weight behind it, I mass up somewhere between 400 and 600 pounds when I'm driving,
Right.
accelerating like that. So if they don't understand how to use the physics here, then guess what? They just get knocked over.
Right.
And we've seen that when we've trained people before, and I'm sure you've seen the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're moving your feet, this also keeps you above the ground. So let's say if I one more, then
Of course.
then you're gonna come up.
As much
So-
as you want.
No, one more. So let's say if I have to use a bow and arrow stance, right? So he throws me the left hand, boom, right? And what I do is, what most people do is watch my back leg. Most people do this.
Right.
The problem is then I have no stability in my motion, right? And once again, I run into the opposite hand. But if he goes here and I slide, now I'm in position to keep doing whatever I have to do, right? And it's important that you understand that. So when I slide, my foot goes here, right? Now, stance training, most people say, well, if I get really low, I can do this. But there's another level of stance training. I always tell my students when they come here, I said, just learning the motions themselves are not good enough. You have to know why you're going to use them. And that comes over time. Like most people would do it, they raise their back leg and they go like this to a bow and arrow stance. For us, after a while, because we're using it in combat, by the way, I know my brother would say this, you have to be able to use it under pressure because that's when these things come out, right? So when I slide my back leg here because I'm afraid of that hand right there. That's the one that's going to knock me out, right? So I have to get to him before he can get to me. So that's all I got about it.
Yeah, right.
What about you, brother?
Awesome information. Basically the same thing as, I always think that there's a pendulum underneath us.
We are not going to go there right now.
That's an iron egg dream. So this is what we want to do. Chole foot does this a lot. A lot of arts actually does this. Actually. So let's do a left punch, right? So I want to do this. Just going into a full-on horse off the quarter. 1, 2, shuffle. 3, 4, 5. See, very simple, very classic, by the way. So if you wanted to do it in the streets, it'd be pop, right? Boom, boom. We usually do that, but for learning purposes, we hit to the stomach, we hit to the neck, we hit to the head, and we're constantly shuffling. Why? He won't be there when you hit him, unless you have a punch that's like a wet noodle, right? So again, I'm here, pop, pop, boom. Notice he was that close. The elbow went first, then he pops up. Here, boom, and boom, right? Very simple. You could totally do that, but that's classic traditional arts that get smaller and smaller, but still effective in the street. Because I've done it.
Yeah, what I love about what he just did, if you guys get a chance, rewind the video and notice that as the S.O.V is responding to pain, he's moving, and so he's on top and he's setting up his weapons every time. And that's one of the benefits of shuffling your feet like that, because in some people, I know it's not the most appropriate way, but this is about survival. This is not about what looks good. This is not a performance. So every time the S.O.V is recovering, he's already in position as he's coming out of recovery, boom, to take him out again. So that was awesome.
Okay.
Next week, they can't touch this move.
Okay, let's go to the next one. I always think that there's a pendulum underneath us.
We are not going to go there right now.
That's an iron egg dream. And now when they might get me go. I'm sorry, no, that's wrong. Anyways, but there is, for instance, there's a soccer ball. There's a ball. Damn it!
There's no way to sell itself out of this one. Go ahead, talk about the soccer ball.
Pendulum that goes here, and you keep that in. Once, fine. You have your scrotum, right? And it's down here, and it's going here, and you're trying to keep your scrotum from going outside your stance.